Strange and creepy happenings beset an average California family, the Freelings, Steve, Diane, teenage Dana, 8-year-old Robbie, and 5-year-old Carol Ann, when ghosts commune with them through the television set. Initially friendly and playful, the spirits turn unexpectedly menacing, and when Carol Ann goes missing, Steve and Diane turn to a parapsychologist, and eventually an exorcist for help. That is the Google description of the 1982 horror classic Poltergeist. With a screenplay penned by the legendary Steven Spielberg and directed by Tobe Hooper, Poltergeist has ranked amongst the most well-received and scariest horror movies of all time on pretty much every list out there. There is no doubt that the film creates an atmosphere of terror and overwhelming fear. But the horrors depicted on the big screen would not come anywhere near being comparable to the many tragedies that befell the real lives of the cast and crew. From real human remains, tragic illnesses, and brutal murders, the rumors that would abound in subsequent years that the film was cursed would not feel that far off mark. The terror goes beyond the big screen and descends into real life as we explore the curse of Poltergeist.
They're here.
Poltergeist is the original film in what would end up as a trilogy and was released on June 4th, 1982. The story focuses on the Freeling family living in Cuesta Verde, a California housing development which, unbeknownst to the family of 5, comes not only with the positives of a beautiful home in beautiful suburbia and a slightly obnoxious neighbor, but also comes equipped with a variety of ghosts. The apparitions appear playful at first, bending silverware and moving furniture, almost in a gleeful way. However, the true intent of these non-living residents would become clear once these specters, under the control of a demon referred to as the Beast, begin communicating through the Freeling family television, communications that it would appear 5-year-old Carol Ann is the only one who can hear. Attracted to the life force of the young girl and believing that she is the beacon that will lead them to the light, the spirits soon turn frantic, leading to Carol Ann's abduction through a portal to the other side that exists within the home, and in fact exists in Carol Ann's own bedroom closet. Through the course of the film, we watch the heartbreaking determination of the Freelings as they desperately elicit the help of a team of parapsychologists camping out in the home to investigate the ghostly claims, and becoming targets themselves. Realizing that this reaches far past their capabilities, psychic medium Tangina is called in to assist in the fight to rescue the young girl from the sinister forces surrounding her and holding her captive. The film culminates in the horrifying realization that the housing development was built on top of what had been a Native American cemetery. And while upon the initiation of construction of the suburban neighborhood, the headstones would be relocated, the bodies remained, acting as a catalyst for the events of the film and particularly as the catalyst for the resounding evidence that would accumulate as proof that these films did in fact have a curse surrounding them. The cast was about to find out why these props looked so realistic. Clearly, this is a story that was meant to be scary and was successful in this endeavor, as the film has maintained its status as one of the scariest movies of all time, Thrillist ranking it still, after 39 years, as number 30 in its list of the scariest movies of all time. The plot is a fever dream of terror in what would become a house of horrors. demonic clowns, trees with a hunger for children, rancid meat, ghostly apparitions, kidnapping. There were no holds barred for these ghosts, but none of that could compare with the real horrors that were occurring behind the scenes.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I go.
VENATOS.
How do you like them apples?
VENATOS is a premium gaming peripheral brand geared toward developing high-performance products. We're currently working toward creating new, exciting, and unique products not currently found on the market. With quality to match its sleek and beautiful design, I can honestly say that my VENATOS mouse is the best that I've ever owned, and I'm looking forward to expanding my collection of VENATOS products. VENATOS ships internationally with extremely low international shipping costs, and shipping is free to the US and Canada. Your products will arrive quickly and carefully packaged, with most orders arriving within 7 to 10 business days. If you're looking to upgrade your setup in an affordable way without substituting looks, VENATOS is an optimal choice, and when you use code PRESSSTARTMOM at checkout, VENATOS is offering a 10% discount on your order. You'll be doing Mom a solid, and you'll be doing yourself a solid. Everyone wins. Thank you so much to VENATOS for sponsoring this video.
You son of a bitch, you moved the cemetery, but you left the bodies, didn't you? You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones!
In a now infamous scene as we near the climax of the film, we see Diane Freeling, played expertly by JoBeth Williams, running, terrified from her home, seeking help as she believes the horrors have now started up again. The scene is set. The rain is coming down. The mud-filled backyard is slippery, and we watch in terror as Diane slips into the hole dug for the family's in-ground pool. She struggles to dig her fingers in to get her footing, but the ground is just too wet, and she slides right back into the depths of the pool, now filled with rainwater and caskets. The caskets burst open, revealing that this whole time the Freeling family home has been resting atop the final resting place of the very souls that have been tormenting them. And while the horrors occurring on screen would be jarring, imagine for a moment that you are JoBeth Williams acting out this scene and realizing that your co-stars in this scene were actual human skeletons. And the scene in which you thought you were simply acting was very much real.
Now, you have to understand that this sequence took probably 4 or 5 days to shoot. So I was in mud and gook all day, every day, for like 4 or 5 days, with skeletons all around me, screaming. Now, in my innocence and naivete, I assumed that these were not real skeletons. I assumed that they were prop skeletons, you know, made out of plastic or rubber or something.
But the skeletons were not synthetic fakes.
I found out, as did the whole crew, that they were using real skeletons. Because it's far too expensive to make skeletons out of rubber and stuff. And I think everybody got very creeped out by the idea of that.
World-famous spirit medium James Van Praagh believes there can be danger in disturbing the remains of the dead.
I do believe that there are those ghosts who have not moved on, and there definitely have been case histories where you've had disturbances of graves and the spirit doesn't like it. In Poltergeist, there was human remains, and it's very, very possible that that spirit was attached to that body and didn't like what was happening to them.
It's possible in a situation where you have a mass of people like you do on a crew in an environment where we're pretending that spirits are all around us. I think it's very easy for people to develop a kind of mass hysteria.
I do believe that people can be cursed, places can be cursed, movies can be cursed. I really liked that movie. I thought it told a good story and a good message. Let the dead rest in peace.
A spokesperson for Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the film's original production company, could not confirm the claims of real human remains being used on set. However, special effects makeup artist Craig Reardon would testify under oath something contrary and quite chilling. In late 1982, Reardon was deposed as a part of a lawsuit filed against Steven Spielberg by screenwriters Paul Clemens and Bennett Michael Yellen. The pair claimed that an Amblin employee acted as a ghostwriter and cited plagiarism, as there were reportedly 67 points of similarity between the ghostwriter's film and what would end up as the Poltergeist we know today. While this particular matter would be settled out of court, the deposition would provide insight into the allegations of real human remains being used on set, as Reardon was quoted as saying, "I acquired a number of actual biological surgical skeletons. They're for hanging in classrooms and study. These are actual skeletons from people. I think the bones are acquired from India. We got 13 of these. And we dressed them so that they looked not like bleached, clean, bolted-together skeletons, but instead disintegrated cadavers." And while Jo Beth Williams was unaware at the time of filming that her skeletal co-stars were real, she did have misgivings about the scene, as there were feelings around the set that something was off. Williams would also claim that the eerie feelings solicited by filming would follow her home. She would report to waking up each morning to the photos hanging on her walls being tilted, and no matter how many times she straightened them, they would again, always, be tilted when she arrived home each night. And the strange occurrences were not just reserved for Williams. One of the other actors, Oliver Robbins, who played middle child Robbie Freeling, nearly became the first victim of the Poltergeist curse, when a prop that was designed to make it look like he was being strangled by an evil clown toy malfunctioned and began strangling him for real, leading to Steven Spielberg having to forcibly pull the clown off of him. The filming clearly had its terrifying rough spots, but unfortunately the wrapping of the film would not roll credits on the horrors of the film for the cast and crew. And unfortunately, the terrors were just beginning. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, and thank you once again to VENATOS for sponsoring this video. There is so much more story to tell here, and I hope you'll join us soon for part 2. If you could do me a little favor on your way out the door and hit the like button and subscribe to be a part of the Press Start family, that would mean the world. Consider joining us over on Patreon for exclusive content and Patreon-only videos. Until next time, be kind to one another. I love you all. Good night.
In 1982, I had 3 kids. I had 2 boys, and I had a daughter called Dominique. And Dominique was, my only daughter. I worshipped her. And she became an actress. And almost instantly, Steven Spielberg cast her in Poltergeist. They had a romance. And he stalked her. She became frightened. She never told us he was abusive to her, and he killed her.